Well, there's a few news articles. This one I thought was fun. Interesting math proofs. Fermat's has various theorems, and ones we've been using just for understand RSA is Fermat's little theorem. And good. The previous time I saw this, it was not okay. Here's the thing: for a prime number p, for any integer a to the p minus a is divisible by p. That's Fermat's little theorem, and it's the basis of RSA encryption. And it turns out you can ask whether this is backwards. If is it possible that this is only true of prime numbers? Or are there other numbers for which this property is true? And what it turns out is there are other numbers for which this thing is true that are not prime, but they are very rare, and they are called Carmichael numbers. And nobody has known how many Carmichael numbers there are, how thick they are, or anything like that. And a high school student figured out this thing that had been a mystery for hundreds of years. This happens every now and then. So they call it pseudoprime. 561 is one of these Carmichael numbers. The next one is 1105, 1729, and 2465. And so anyway, they figured out the density of Carmichael numbers, which is kind of cute. And this is the kind of stuff that can often turn out to be valuable later. The mathematicians proved this stuff just sort of out of the joy of the beauty of it. And a small number of the crazy things mathematicians prove turn out to be useful later. All right, let me just check and see if there are any comments in the chat. If I can find the chat. Okay, there are no comments, all right? So, so there's a USB worm, so I guess there must be some air-gapped systems in Ukraine. This is a Russian attack against Ukraine. This stuff was popular. The United States and Israel did it to take down the isotope separators in Iran. And so anyway, they've been spreading USB malware, and this stuff is extremely primitive. You see, it's mostly affecting Ukraine, but a few United States and other nations too. And it's really very simple script, one to spread it, and one to set in a remote control agent on the machines it infects. So anyway, not clear what harm it does, but presumably they check to see if you're Ukrainian and then attack you. So Sam Altman got, on Friday morning, the board of OpenAI threw him out for no apparent reason, issued a statement that made no sense and refused to explain it. So he went into a meeting, tried to get back. They turned him down. So he was thrown out. Microsoft arranged to hire him. After that, over 700 of the 950 employees of OpenAI said they wanted to leave and go work for Microsoft too. So basically the whole company would be gone. So now they decided to just fire the whole board and bring Sam back. So Sam, yeah?
The large language model.
Yeah.
Somebody put out a article saying that it's very expensive to do a model. It's
Yes.
In the billions of dollars.
Yes. It is very expensive, and Microsoft has been providing the computing power. They say it's a money furnace. It's totally burning a lot of money.
OpenAI is using Microsoft data center.
It is, yes. Microsoft is actually hosting it anyway, so Microsoft could totally carry it on without OpenAI. But apparently, he's going to go back to OpenAI, and the board has been replaced. And this, the main thing that I see here, it helps me understand the current madness of Silicon Valley. One thing that's worth mentioning, let's see if I can get these stupid, stinking ads to get out of the way, is Sam Altman handled this very well. He didn't trash anybody. He didn't have any emotional reaction. He's so much better than Elon Musk. He just gave a very dignified statement saying, well, that was a surprise, but, I found a good side in it, and it was great to work there, and I hope to come back, or something like that. A professional, calm statement, like you ought to have from like a CEO. So let's see if I can somehow dig through the ads and get to the next article. Okay, so Elon Musk has been spreading anti-Semitism all along, and the latest one is, I couldn't even understand what he was saying. You have to be an expert in racism to understand what he's saying. But I'm forgetting about this. What goes on is there's a great replacement theory that's been going on for centuries, and the idea is that the non-white races are inferior, and they cannot organize a political movement on their own. So the reason why black people are coming into America and Hispanics and stuff is because Jews are planning it, and Jews are smart enough to organize it and control it, and Jews are the masterminds, like Soros, creating this flood of immigrants in here for some evil purpose to flood democracy and take over the world in some way. This is a really big theory. Tucker Carlson has been pushing this for years. It's a Donald Trump. It's a big thing on the right. And it's exactly what the Nazis said. This is why Hitler said you had to kill the Nazis. And another thing that's come back is one of Trump's ex-wives said that he did have a copy of Hitler's speeches by his bed, and that's what he read. And he certainly has been repeating Hitler's speeches all along, and very much more in the last month or two, making it very clear that if he gets to presidency again, he will be ruling on the grounds of wiping out all the people that he doesn't like with the court systems and with the military, getting rid of the undesirables. So it's pretty scary.
Is Elon Musk a Jew?
No, he's not.
But he attend,
He's from South Africa.
No, but he attend Jewish donor to Biden's meetings.
He attends any meeting he wants to. But, I mean, this is the thing about racists. It's not that they...
Biden had a donors meeting with the Jews.
A donut meeting with the Jews?
Yeah, have a donors meeting to get donation from the Jews, and then Elon Musk showed up.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But Elon Musk is certainly not a Jew. However, people say it's not as simple as him being an obvious anti-Semite, but this is something it took a while to understand. For example, the Republicans have had black candidates for president, even though they're an extremely racist party. Racism doesn't mean that you just can't have anything to do with people of the race you hate. It means you're picky and you only want the good ones. Like Ben Shapiro is a huge Trump supporter, and he's a Jew. And this has always been the case. There are people who join a racist group that hates them, because they're going to be the good one. They're called Quislings. That's what the Jews called them. There were Jews that worked with the Nazis to kill the other Jews. And the first one was Quisling, and it's one way to succeed. You become the good one they like. Like Clarence Thomas is the good black, because what he does is end anything to help black people, anything to improve voting rights, anything like affirmative action or welfare. He wants to get rid of it all, because he says it makes black people weak if they get any help. You should make them work.
I mean, Clarence Thomas, once he came to the Supreme Court, it's a drop for life.
Yes.
He shouldn't worry about money, matter anymore.
He is totally doing it for bribes. He's getting huge bribes, and so is Scalia. The Supreme Court is completely corrupted with this huge flood of money from the right, which funds them. Of course, it might not be as simple as bribery. What it is they chose him because he had these opinions, and then they reward him for having these opinions and encourage it. So it's not exactly like they're bribing him with the exact quid pro quo, but it amounts to him getting a flood of money and also doing what those moneyed people want.
The U.S. Constitution to set up the Supreme Court, for the justice to guarantee the job is just to get rid of the money power.
Well, the U.S.
It seems to be not working anymore.
Well, yes, that's true. But the Constitution didn't actually make it very clear what the Supreme Court is. It became a tradition later. The basis of the Supreme Court and their terms and the powers they have is very unclear, and it has changed several times. That's why there's a large movement to say they really should change it again. They should give them a term limit. They should change the number of justices on the court. All that could happen, and it has all happened before. The current structure is not established by the Constitution. It's more just sort of a tradition. Anyway, it's a very good point. So, one thing I want to mention before we go ahead to what's amazing is I heard about this before. This is Elon Musk's religion, and this is huge all over Silicon Valley, called effective altruism. And here they explain it. And what it is the idea that you save the human race in the future. So that's why another person said, another thing Elon Musk goes for, which is also big in Silicon Valley, is the idea that the world is just a simulation. And they said what Elon Musk believes is the entire world is a game, it's a computer simulation, and he is the only actual real player. Everybody else is just a bot in the background, which explains a lot of what he does. Whatever he wants is best. And this is what the nobility have always felt. I'm the superior race, whatever I want is right. All these commoners are just things for me to use. And that's certainly where Elon Musk is and where most of the rich people in Silicon Valley are. It's obvious why this kind of thing would be popular. It's a sort of religious justification for the egotism of the rich. So, of course, they enjoy hearing that. Anyway, let me stop this one.